Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking about hyperhidrosis.
Okay.
Specifically in Kenya.
Interesting.
Yeah, we found this really interesting video from Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya.
Okay.
It's on their YouTube channel, and it's all about how they're working with medical practitioners to really help people.
I see.
And yeah, I think it's really fascinating because it seems like they're taking kind of a more holistic approach, you know?
So it's not just like, here's some treatment, goodbye, see you later.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more about like understanding the person as a whole and really figuring out like what's going to work best for them.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think one of the things that really stood out to me in this video is, they talk about the different levels of treatment. So like level 1 is all about topical treatments, antiperspirants, that kind of thing.
Okay, like the first line of defense.
Yeah, exactly. And then level 2 is where things get a little bit more intense. You know, we're talking about like Botox injections.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they actually had this really powerful story in the video about this one patient who had tried everything, all the level 1 treatments, and nothing tend to work. And it was really affecting their self-confidence, their social life, everything.
Right, because if you can't, control your sweating, it can be really embarrassing.
Absolutely. And then they tried Botox, and it like completely changed their life.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, they were able to like wear the clothes they wanted, go out with friends, and just feel comfortable in their own skin.
That's so powerful.
I know. It's just like amazing to see how these treatments can really make a difference.
But I imagine getting to that point can be a real struggle.
Oh, absolutely. The video talks a lot about the challenges that both patients and doctors face,
Yeah, like on the patient side, I can imagine it's just so frustrating to try all these different things and have nothing work.
Yeah, and then you finally go to the doctor and they're like, oh, well, we have this treatment, but good luck getting it.
Oh, no.
Seriously, like they were talking about these antiperspirant iontophoresis machines.
What are those?
It's basically this machine that uses like a mild electrical current to reduce sweating.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be really effective, but they're super hard to get a hold of.
Oh, really?
Tons of paperwork, long waiting list, and they're not always covered by insurance.
So it's like a huge barrier for people who really need it.
Exactly, and that's where hate comes in.
Okay, so they're kind of like filling in the gaps.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more than just raising awareness. They're actually providing direct support to patients and doctors.
That's great.
So one of the first things they do is offer counseling and support.
Oh, that's so important because like you said, it's not just a physical condition. It can really affect your mental health too.
Exactly. It can make you feel anxious, self-conscious, isolated.
Absolutely.
And HAIC recognizes that. So they have all sorts of programs to help people cope.
Like what?
Well, they have individual counseling, group therapy sessions, and even online Supreme forums.
Wow. So there are lots of options.
Yeah, and they also focus on practical coping mechanisms, like relaxation techniques, strategies for managing anxiety in social situations.
So they're really giving people the tools they need to manage their condition.
Exactly. It's a very holistic approach.
I like that.
But it's not all about the emotional side. They also help with the practical challenges of navigating the healthcare system.
Right, because that can be a nightmare on its own.
Oh, absolutely. So what they do is they do this thing called a sweat background check.
A what?
Yeah, it's basically like a comprehensive assessment of the patient's history with the condition.
Oh, interesting.
They ask about everything, like the severity of the sweating, what treatments they've tried, what triggers their sweating, you name it.
Wow, so it's like they're gathering all the information the doctor would need.
Exactly, and then they have these detailed Q&A sessions with patients where they really delve into their lifestyle, their emotional state, their expectations for treatment.
So by the time they see a doctor, they have a really clear understanding of their condition.
Yeah, and they know what they're hoping to achieve.
That's awesome.
And get this, they also help patients fill out all the necessary forms and paperwork.
Oh my God, that's a lifesaver.
I know, right? It can be so overwhelming, especially if you're already dealing with the stress of a medical condition.
For sure.
And here's the kicker. They actually assist in procuring those antiperspirant iontophoresis machines we were talking about.
Seriously?
Yeah, they help both patients and doctors navigate the whole process of getting approval from insurance companies, sourcing the equipment, everything.
Wow, they're really going above and beyond.
I know, it's amazing. They're so committed to making these treatments more accessible to people.
That's incredible.
And they understand that it's not just about the technology, it's about having the right support in place.
Right, because what good is a machine if you can't even get it?
Exactly. So they're really connecting patients with the resources they need to manage their condition effectively.
It's like a model for comprehensive care.
Totally. And it really highlights the power of collaboration,
Yeah, like when medical practitioners and patient advocacy groups work together, they can really make a difference.
And it all starts with listening to patients, understanding their needs, and providing personalized care.
That's what it's all about.
But I'm curious to know more about the impact of this partnership, you know?
Yeah, like how is this actually playing out in people's lives?
Let's dig into that next. Yeah, like how is this actually playing out in people's lives?
Well, let's think about it from the doctor's perspective for a second.
Okay.
Imagine you're a doctor in Kenya. You've got patients coming in all day.
It's busy.
And then someone walks in who's already been working with HEC.
Oh, that's got to be a relief.
Right. They've already got a sweat background check.
All their forms are filled out.
Exactly. They understand their options and they're ready to talk about treatment.
That frees up so much time for the doctor.
It really does. They can actually focus on providing care.
Instead of, like chasing down paperwork.
Yeah, all that administrative stuff.
Which I'm sure is a huge burden.
Oh, absolutely.
And for the patients, I bet it makes a huge difference too.
It really does because they feel heard and understood.
Like they're not just a number.
Exactly. They're actively participating in their own healthcare.
It's collaborative.
Much more.
It makes me think.
What's that?
Couldn't this kind of partnership be helpful for other conditions too?
I mean, we're talking about hyperhidrosis today.
Right.
But this model could apply to so many other areas.
Like what?
Well, take diabetes, for example.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Imagine a similar organization supporting people with diabetes.
Okay.
They could provide education on managing the condition.
Nutritional guidance.
Exactly. Even organize exercise classes.
They could help with navigating insulin therapy.
Connect people with support groups.
Advocate for affordable medications.
All of that.
And on the doctor side,
yeah,
they could work together to ensure patients are getting comprehensive care.
Exactly. Making sure their individual needs are being met.
It's like taking that bridge that HEC built.
Yeah.
And applying it to a whole new landscape of healthcare challenges.
It's about a more holistic and patient-centered approach.
I like that.
Recognizing the connection between physical and emotional well-being.
We've talked a lot about the benefits for patients and doctors.
Right.
But what about the healthcare system as a whole? Could this lead to broader systemic improvements?
I think it has the potential.
How so?
Well, by empowering patients and supporting doctors,
yeah,
we can create a more efficient and effective system.
Less strain on resources.
Potentially better outcomes for everyone.
It's a shift from just treating illness
and preventing it
and promoting overall well-being.
Exactly.
Which benefits everyone.
Now, this isn't to say it's a magic bullet.
Right.
There will always be challenges.
Especially in resource-constrained settings.
Of course.
But what HARC is doing,
yeah,
it's a powerful example of what's possible
when people work together.
Find creative solutions.
Exactly.
It's about looking beyond traditional boundaries.
And recognizing the importance of community
empowerment.
And it all started with addressing a condition that many people might not even know exists.
It's true.
It shows that sometimes the most impactful solutions come from unexpected places.
For our listeners out there.
Yeah.
What if we take this idea and apply it to the health conditions that matter most to you?
Ooh, I like that.
What if we all took a moment to think about how we could support those living with chronic illnesses?
Not just through medical intervention,
but through compassion, understanding, and practical assistance.
Yeah.
What organizations are already doing this work in your community?
Could you get involved?
Could you be a part of building a more supportive and inclusive healthcare system?
Those are big questions.
They are.
But they're worth asking.
Because even small actions can have a ripple effect.
Imagine the possibilities if we all took a step towards creating a world where everyone feels supported
and empowered to manage their health,
regardless of their condition or their circumstances.
That's a future worth striving for.
Absolutely.
And it starts with awareness, understanding, and a willingness to challenge the status quo.
Just like HAC is doing.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping a healthier future
for ourselves and our community.
And sometimes the most profound insights come from the deepest dives. You know, it's amazing to think that a partnership focused on something as specific as hyperhidrosis in Kenya could spark such a broad conversation about healthcare.
It really shows you the power of individual stories, right?
Yeah.
Like you start with one person's experience and then you zoom out and see the bigger picture.
And HEC's work really shows that creative solutions can come from anywhere.
Exactly, even in places where resources are limited.
It's inspiring to see what can happen when people come together with a shared goal.
They saw a need.
Yeah.
They saw a gap in the system and they took action.
And they didn't stop at just addressing the immediate needs.
Right, they thought about the long-term impact.
Building a more sustainable system.
Exactly.
And it makes you wonder what other innovative approaches are out there, just waiting to be discovered and shared.
It's true.
What can we learn from each other to improve healthcare for everyone?
That's the beauty of collaboration, you know?
Yeah.
We can connect and learn from each other's successes and challenges.
Find new ways to address these complex issues.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a challenge.
I like it.
Take a moment to reflect on what you've learned today.
Think about the potential for similar partnerships in your own community.
Could you be a catalyst for change?
Could you help bridge the gap between patients and healthcare providers?
Advocate for more inclusive and accessible healthcare systems.
We believe that even small actions can have a big impact.
So keep asking questions.
Keep exploring.
Keep believing in the power of collective action.
Because when we come together,
Yeah.
we can create a healthy and more equitable world for everyone.
That's a great note to end on.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We hope it's sparked some new ideas.
And inspired you to take action.
We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Deep Dive because understanding sweat is the first step to thriving. Remember to subscribe, share, and connect with us on Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya socials. Together, we can stay cool, confident, and unstoppable. Until next time, keep shining. No sweat.